Not going to.
I yield. I yield.
You got my sword. What are you gonna?
Very well.
That's it, please.
A good little tip for everybody, because this is about putting on a show and having a dance. So when you're swinging, sometimes it'll be safe to anticipate that your opponent will block it or something will happen. So don't follow through. Stop part of the way. Give them 3 swings in succession and anticipate that they will block all 3 of them. Opposition, go ahead and block all 3 of them, and then change sides. Give that a try.
Alright. Alright, would you like to go with Crack? What did I miss? Oh.
I've been watching the film, so I've been catching up a little bit.
Okay, what did you miss, and what am I able to give you a quick rundown on?
Like basic combat dance.
Yes, it's combat dance.
Alright.
So, engage with somebody, do a song and dance.
Oh god, this.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's on purpose.
Again, sadly, not as experienced.
Oh,
Sometimes it is.
you're probably you're at a disadvantage. I have LARP experience, so I know.
Yeah, second time VR melee combat, I guess.
That's alright.
By the way,
No.
if you are getting tired, continue on with your combats. If you're getting tired, please feel free to take a break, drink some water, breathe, sit down, do what you need to regain your energy.
Nah, no braces.
All right, that is your public service announcement. Continue.
Okay, just remember, I'm ready when you are.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Think. Think.
Get rid of the sword.
I've gotten better than that.
Never mind.
Block.
It'd be kind of one side if it's just sword and shield versus just 2 guns.
Like I said, when someone tries to go for that on the opposite side, try and drop the shield so you can block that.
So one more time.
But yeah,
So like,
see how it was when you swung, I dropped to
all right.
So I went in level and I still
One thing.
yeah.
All right. All right.
Because try and find openings to my swings.
Or close range weapons like, say, fists
Huh?
or bucklers
You see,
like these.
when
Oh.
you block with your shield, look where my arm is. Look where my arm is.
Or hold up your arms like you're trying to block.
Yeah, okay.
It is
Give you a couple of blows you can take.
it is open.
Oh.
Now I
right.
can still block it by doing that. I can still block it, but sometimes there are some small openings.
Deliver an uppercut in the pause of
All right. Okay.
Right.
Or at least try and tilt it in your
Yeah.
favor.
Again, much practice. I'm
There
trying
are-
to just take it in.
As nice as it would
I guess.
Yeah. No worries. I'm just utilizing how I was taught how to sword fight. All right. Let's try that again.
Side of my arm.
Just something not
Yeah.
in mind for me.
I don't know why I went with this sword.
That
Okay.
yeah. It's a natural thing. So yeah,
Alright.
Like I would have been in trouble. I would not have been.
Okay, so maybe.
let's see. You can go for it.
That was more
Uh, There we go.
need a bit of a breathe.
Again.
Breathing.
You know,
If you just go full offensive,
you'll get the hang of it. Yeah, you'll get the hang of it. like I said.
Alright then.
Yeah.
Like a
So
sparring.
yeah, you this thing could be for offense and defense at the same time.
Yeah, it's fucking me up because sometimes I
When you-
go
yeah.
trying to defend with the sword instead of defending with shield, and
Are you ready?
Yeah. See, mostly you probably defend the shield for both for up attacks, side attacks on one side. So
alright.
yeah. So if I go for this, you go for the shield, and then you can follow through with the sword for attack.
And of course, then you
And
go
I can
up.
do that. Yeah. Or when you go, if you go to the side, I go like that. If you go that way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's try it again. Okay. Now I'm gonna probably do a couple of. There are also other things like fake outs. So if I go like, you're gonna try and anticipate fake outs, but that's latency was always gonna have that problem. All right, ready? Ready up? At the ready?
I missed.
And dead.
I went.
No.
You can just
Went down as soon as I went for the. I knew I got my
sliced
helmet.
across my eyes there.
Oh,
No, I actually need to.
Come on, keep up the pressure. Try and put me on the defensive. Come
I'm
on.
not too.
Okay, was
Hey, if it makes you feel better, you can pick on me.
There you go. Come on. That's it. Come on.
everything okay over here?
Try and recover quickly.
yes.
There, yep.
The
Okay.
problem that I think
Alright.
we're both having right now is
And-
communication within the client, trying to see what we're doing in the proper timing.
Yes, yes.
That is
always
always
seems to be the biggest issue.
Huh?
Yeah, that's always the thing that you need to remember. To clarify what I said, if you didn't already, when you're throwing hits, always assume they're going to be blocked. So
Yeah, I just like
when
it's
you
the matter of
throw a blow and it
timing
doesn't
and
hit, it hits
all of
you,
that.
Right.
you throw it,
Yeah.
I'm already in here. My hip
and it's
Again.
so there's
Not to mention, I have no HEMA experience, so
a couple seconds.
yes. If-
Same here, but like I said, I learned when I used to do live down here. I'm just using
to
what
do
I've
something,
learned.
Dodge out of the way or block
Alright.
what you were going to do. And then once they
Okay,
see you do
come
the
on.
action, they will either
How about again? At the ready,
or they will
and go.
continue on to another.
Uh,
Adjust yourself a bit.
It's working around at the client. It's a good rule of thumb when you're throwing a blow or like going go
Wonder how that
Now,
and
when you
figure out
do,
what's going on.
obviously
nothing.
because you're in half body, aren't you?
yeah.
And then for the final one, you give them a reaction.
Yeah. When you do that again, swipe at my leg again.
And
Swipe
you
at my
give
leg
them
again.
Half a second to a second of time.
I
Okay.
block. You're literally open. See?
Yeah.
So try and
Make
yeah.
the
So I
action,
can simply go
wait for the reaction, and follow through with whatever happens. Okay?
yeah.
No, I was saying
But mostly the armor is mostly because this
you
one.
need to get in.
So try and once you get out of that. Okay.
I don't wanna be fast,
Alright.
then. Your turn.
Alright, let's go again. Ready?
Oh fuck.
Oh, you're right.
Hold on, because I think I hit something.
Oh shit. Alright, rubbish.
Uh,
I think my TV's alright. I didn't. Yeah, always be aware of your surroundings in real life. So you don't hit anything.
okay. Thankfully, just a wardrobe.
Alright. Now I'm gonna try something at you
No.
to see if you can recover from this.
I'm going to give them instructions farther away.
And good.
Retreat behind the
Pick. There you go. There you go.
Isn't that side of that square?
Base elevator, and they're going to be
Oh.
these are enemies that can take.
Okay,
I've already gotten a couple of
Where are we
people
gonna
that are
put
more
them?
experienced,
Died.
and I will give you them.
I am just a spear. Come at me.
There you go.
Legitimate sit.
Alright, I'm gonna switch it up for now. You say a sword,
Because I can barely see where the heck you're trying to put the spear.
and I'm going to see how you handle it. Alright.
Now I can
Oh.
I'm mainly trying to
Big as mine.
maneuver around.
Yep, trying to do the right. Trying to get it the right way and trying to bypass the shield.
That's just because I have reach.
Yeah. Just try and get in close.
Now, mostly when you go against attackers like this, they try and go for your legs, because, or, yeah, they can try and go for an overhead and try and get over your shield. So you can still, like, again, sword is both offense and defensive. You can try and bat it away. So try and bat it. Try and knock it out of the way. Go.
Swung too fast, but
Okay.
Yeah.
And yes, the spear was pretty much overpowered when it came down to stuff like this. It didn't get past the sword.
From the back of the head.
Buried.
Right.
Okay.
Damn, I punched him.
There's not much. Yeah.
Into the ground.
Most of the time when you go against spearmen, you're always on the defensive.
Fight that ghost. It's face.
yeah, so not much.
Mostly you see mostly in a shield war. The common tactics that I implemented in my LARP is we have a 2-line, so we have like both a spearman and a swordman at them, giving them both defensive cover and offensive cover. So yeah,
Alright.
all right. So when I
False alarm. Good.
goes for it, I go first. And yeah, all right. Let's get back to this.
Try to.
Let's go.
Right.
You're tough, I'll give you that.
Knew you.
I mean, people can bring me to my knees.
There you go.
Hot enough outside right now. I don't know where you're at, but this heat is.
All right, let's get back.
I won't save you in this fight.
I'm in the Midwest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oof. I can tell you've been here in the east.
Shit.
Still pretty.
Really inadequate.
Yeah.
Okay.
No worries.
Where do you want to get going?
Yeah.
Take a quick water break.
That's okay. Just take your stuff off, I guess.
Alright.
Do you have an invisible avatar?
I do.
Then I'd say switch to that for a couple minutes, and switch back whenever we come back.
Just so you know, I cannot use my left
Alright.
Hey, pass the word along.
so many cuts.
Spears and shields for everybody. I have a feeling they're coming up with something of a game plan for us to go through. So let's see if we can counter them.
Okay. Oh, what, you mean those people that I can see over there?
Yep. That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, do I want to
Yeah.
go right-handed or...
Alright, so
Oh, well, this is because I think we're gonna get some water. Get some water. Yeah, because I'm guessing it's going to be.
in spears and shields. And pass it along to everybody else.
Shield wall.
Shield.
Yeah, the head is quite nervous.
I was actually wondering.
So you kind of got like the gist of fighting, yeah?
Shield and RP.
I mean, theory yes, but it's all about practice, I guess.
Yeah, it took me like when I used to do LARP, but it took me a while to get used to it.
Just
I mean,
fucking
this is how I'm just going how they taught me.
like that across someone. It's just a massive fucking cleaver.
I mean, most of the time we both. In my war band, we're mostly shield war dependent. So we have like swordsmen and shield and spearmen.
Got your breath.
Alright.
They have like back in the. Yeah.
Nice work. High five.
Yeah, it's a matter of like latency, telegraphing.
Hey,
Actually, no,
Telegraphing, yeah.
No, I need to check and see if I woke anyone.
like, at least ventilate the heat for the space toaster.
Yep.
Have I got any angry texts?
Hey, what are you talking about? It's only 8 in the morning. 8 in the afternoon.
Incorrect. It is currently 2 a.m.
Oh,
It's only 10:17 from where I am at.
East Coast America.
2:47 a.m.
It's
It's currently 9?
I'm on Australian time, so I'm it's like during the day for me. It's the reason why I can do these RPs, because it's through the day for me. So I don't have to worry about buggering up my sleep schedule, which is already buggered up anyway.
My lovely little combatants. You might not see me right now, but know that I see you. I would like for you all to kind of congregate into the same area, if you will. Because I am going to throw at you a little situation. What you hear as you stand in this desert landscape, you hear the howls of the damned come from the side of the space elevator that you see in the sky. The sound of shifting plate and metal dragging across sand. You are about to be accosted by something you have probably never seen before. You should ready yourselves, for you do not believe you will be able to take on this enemy. But you know you have a safe haven if you turn back.
I am so gonna die first.
Combat will begin as soon as they see you.
Make a crescent! Face that way!
Prepare yourselves.
Crescent.
This is your first test.
Crescent.
Get over here! Get over here!
Don't stand there like a fool. Get over here. Come on, man. Come on, lads.
Second line, in formation. Lances up front, shields to the front.
Get your shield out, soldier. Stand closer to each other.
Close ranks! Close ranks!
Move up here.
Close ranks!
I'm seeing some silhouettes that are kind of frightening me
Face
right
that
now.
way.
Yeah, I can see something off in the distance, mate. I can see something in the distance.
Nuggets! If you die, you die in glory! You hold this line!
Ranks.
This line fills
Prepare for battle!
By the gods, what are those things?
Know your fear.
I see there are fresh souls in my domain.
Okay, there's nobody seems to be coming
Hold
from
your
behind us.
ground.
God, they're ugly.
the workshop!
It's time to harvest.
I didn't sign up for this.
Hold the line.
Charge.
Keep him back, keep him back. One on the side of us.
Come on now. Oh, damn it.
Falling onto the ground.
Your spears go in there.
You must defeat him, brother.
I got this.
Hold up, brother.
Don't worry.
It's only slightly late, so I can't really scream that much.
You must defeat him. Assist him.
Wanna play patty cake? Oh fuck, I forgot to play patty cake.
My trackers are seeing me.
Invisible avatar! Invisible avatar!
Hang on. Let me get up. I will lay down.
Have we killed any of them?
No.
I don't think so.
I stabbed one in the chest like. I stabbed one in the chest like 5 times.
Oh god. That was almost a similar. That was like a similar formation that we did.
The shield wall could have used some work, but hey.
Yeah, I agree.
Time.
But hey, yeah, exactly.
How does it feel to be dead?
Oh my god, great NPC.
Not the first time.
I don't know. One guy just out.
We be dabbing in the head.
I am so sweaty right now.
Oh my god, no. Now he's flossing. That resurrects us. Oh, poor light over there.
Holy shit. And that's going a lot better than I thought it was.
You know what? The shield wall held longer than I thought it would.
Oh god. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if we had like if we had like what we call a threatened wall, we would definitely have like spears and spears at front, swords at back. That's one of my.
Well, okay. I mean, if we did it like a pike wall, it would have been pikes up front, and then you'd have swords in back for the.
Do not take my generosity for weakness. You are the ones who subjected yourself to this fate.
I mean, we technically.
I'm gonna slowly crawl over there.
We died in each other's arms. That's better than dying with the pitch.
Oh, god damn it, brother, that's so gay.
You just died in my arms tonight. It must have been something you said.
Oh god.
I just died in your arms tonight.
Let me die in silence.
Come on, then. You're right.
And so we have a lone survivor and a lone coward. I think this is good enough of a situation to end.
So, everybody form up! Form up by the pipe! Form up by the pipe!
I haven't done stuff like this since Misty Storm.
Everyone else will die storm.
I was gonna grab someone's foot when you executed this. I was crawling.
So,
That's good. It was fun.
I died so many times. Oh, I thought I was gonna die of 4.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting.
Everybody go ahead and take a breather, take a sit down, take a drink of water if you have it.
I don't.
Great job, guys.
This is late.
You
and after
should
this
have
is-
it by now.
And after this is done, I'm gonna sleep. So...
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. You sacrificed your life to let me escape. Great job.
Everyone kill him.
I died very quickly.
We on the left side has this dude.
I got a guard break, and then I got chopped in the head.
Heavies quite often, so.
Yeah, haven't killed me the same way.
On the outside of the stairs.
I don't know if I was in the Misty Storm.
The actual
In the
idea behind the double.
And once again, constantly being thrown around.
I'm only good at this one.
I
was the only one that one time told me to cheat, and I said, "Oh, fuck it, go in."
We definitely should have come back and taken the high ground. Definitely should have come back like it's over here. That would have helped. I can see because on you just
That took out our front line pretty easily.
I mean, it's like essentially undead full
I feel bad for the
with
left
heavy
flank.
weapons.
Arrows on that left flank at the same
Yeah.
So this is
gonna happen.
what Total War Warhammer feels like in
No, we're not doing
person.
You're doing the second one. Have fun.
Empire melee spearman versus
It's a good idea. However, people are going to find the rest or they're just going to, do heavy strikes according to their wall.
Yeah.
It's just been an overwhelming force.
Thing is, my head's right here for me.
Just laying on my couch.
Okay!
Engine was all like, hey,
Everybody,
spears and shields.
pay attention to the skeleton on the hill. And also the very large man in large black plate. So, no, do not worship me, I said pay attention.
I am not a god. Please, don't worship me.
And there is the first sacrifice of this combat workshop. So, there are a couple of notes. There are a couple of notes that we saw, and we want to point out by being a part of and leading that onslaught that happened. First off, I just want to say amazing shield wall. It was expected. But Haven has some stuff that he wants to say, and I will give up some following pointers once he gives his. The voice is yours.
The scenario was set up so that you guys had a safe haven to run back to should you choose, but almost every single one of you chose to take the L, which is, as the people running this workshop, impressive. And we love that shit. It is important and imperative that as a role player, because you'll find yourself in situations where even as a player character, you'll take hits and you'll get hurt. But especially when you're doing role play, you'll end up fulfilling a lot of roles such as NPCs and vice versa, or the bad guys. So learning to take the L, to take the hit, is imperative, and just about every single one of you did that. So, well done, well done. Proud of you guys for that.
Yeah, woo!
We did it.
So,
confetti.
what this is a small bit of an introduction into is definitely what we would consider combat levels. Quite obviously, you guys were paired against something that was beyond your skill level, beyond your ability to kill as a combat level. So even if they were taking hits, they were shrugging it off. You could see how some people were role-playing it out. These big undead beings. That is a good example of combat level. And that won't always be, you're gonna lose, you're gonna win, no matter what. This was what we would consider a DM insert, an expert level character that was unbeatable. what you'll see very common in a lot of role plays nowadays is characters or NPCs being introduced with these combat levels, and they can use a whole variety of vernaculars to describe them, untrained to militia level to well-trained and experts, or numbers applied to NPCs and vice versa. It's important to keep those in mind, because what that means is when you're out there fighting them, that, without having any dice rolls interact, should help dictate how that battle's gonna go. Such as if you are, say, this soldier, right here, and you are standing up against, let's say, this guy. But I'm not the god tier level 20 being that I am now. He's trained, your average soldier, and I'm a being that's also trained, but, I've been at it for a long time, and I've clearly got the advantage. It does not mean by default that I'm going to win, at least not immediately. It's going to be a slow, downhill fight for him until he gets someone else to help, or you guys manage to roleplay it out in ways where he does manage to come out on top. That's when it comes down to the dance, the back and forth, being able to determine how this fight's going to go based off of who I'm fighting. If I'm up against him and I'm bringing, let's see, here. If I'm bringing this boil, well, the legs are still backwards on it. Even better.
I was backwards for a long time.
We've been telling you that.
He's being a pushover, but point is, you can tell this guy's pretty much a civilian. He's not going to. He's just simply not going to win when it comes to it, especially if this guy's got a weapon. So, combat levels are something important to keep in mind.
Wait, is it on?
Take it.
I have no idea if it's on.
No, now you can take it.
Alright, there we go. So, like Haven said, combat levels is something to keep in mind. The skill level of the opponent that you are facing. For the purposes of the training, we were sending you up against somebody of equal skill level. But usually a DM or the actual model itself will give you signifiers of if it's more powerful, less powerful, a goblin, or a giant. Figuring out what the skill level of your opponent is imperative to being able to sell what you're able to do.
Honestly, trying these workshops is
always as a part of combat, as is what I was trying to signify during this whole workshop, is running away is an option. You can run away. You might be branded a coward, but you're at least a live coward.
I have retreated a number of times.
Treating this interesting thing to say.
We want to die with honor, I guess.
Either way,
I wanted to go super cool.
Combat levels is certainly something to keep in mind. The character that you are playing has a combat level themselves. It might change depending on what roleplay you're a part of. Like if you're trained militia, if you're a military veteran, if you're a goblin off the side of the gutter streets. Figure out what you're actually able to do. And then once you have that, you'll figure out how many hits you're able to take and give. Something that I forgot to mention also is how to take hits. I've seen a lot of people do it very well. Like as soon as somebody sends a strike, they take a hit by either reacting with or going into the hit, reacting to it, and turning into a blow. Like, hey, hit me with a punch. Punch me. Like, the most common thing is to flick around and stagger a bit. That's the easiest way to show that you've been hit. If you've been sliced, you can grab at the cut and go like, oh no, my chest! And for those of you of the particular gender, if somebody kicks you, you know what you do. Yes, that is an option. However,
check. Joke's on you, I don't have one.
Exactly. Anyway, so
What are you, a eunuch?
Selling a hit is all about showing the other person that you understand that you have been hit. Either it's shrugging a shoulder if you're one of these powerful enemies. Like, I can't remember. Who was it that went up behind me and stabbed me in the shoulder? Ace. When you did that, did you see me lean forward and then after a while grab the spear you stabbed me with?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah, giving your combatants signifiers of you saw the hit that they did is a big thing. If you give them a visual or auditory signifier that you have been hit, that is confirmation. And then once that confirmation is had, they can do something with it. But that's also another thing that you just need to practice. So, with that, I'm going to ask one thing of all of you, and you're able to give me a silent answer or a hoorah if you want to actually do it. Would you like to do another one of these scenarios?
Yes.
Stand up here.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, absolutely.
If you would like to do another one of these scenarios, raise your weapon and join me over on this side. This one, over here. However, if you would like to move on to the ranged portion of the workshop, join Haven over here. So, to let you know,
I don't know.
melee combat scenario, ranged combat workshop start.
I'm actually curious about this too, so.
It's really
Ooh.
Either way.
Yes.
I think
Yes. 9. But it will be a similar. To let you know, the ranged combat workshop will be using guns.
Okay.
Instant 180 turn. So, it looks like a whole hefty portion of people want to do the ranged combat workshop. So I'm just going to end off the melee portion with saying, thank you very much for coming, and for anybody who is dipping out, I'm pretty sure that's what you're trying to tell me over there in the lonely little corner on the side. Unless you're coming in. Okay, well,
2 hours left about it.
we're outvoted. But anyway, thank you all for coming to the melee portion of the workshop, and I will officially transition it over to Haven for the ranged portion.
Thanks, Andre.
And thank you for doing it.
Thank you, Andre.
Thank you, man.
No problem. I'm still gonna be here.
Hold on.
Bye, Andre.
I will give you the voice.
Okay.
Question.
All right. So,
We just stay in this avatar.
go ahead and stay in these avatars for now. When we change up, I'll give you guys avatars to switch into. So, as you guys know, and the reason we cover that is because melee combat, learning how to give and take, learning how to broadcast and telegram yourself is all exceptionally important, especially in any kind of roleplay scenario. Because when you do ranged combat, you know, even then, you still end up in CQC. And if you get locked in with someone, you're going to RP it out. So, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware, roleplay, especially gun-based roleplay, which has been bound to avatars for a long time and stuff like that, gets very wishy-washy, complicated, because you're kind of spraying and praying at each other for a long time. And the nice thing about melee combat is you are within range to tell that story. You are close enough to someone that you can telegraph what you are doing, and they can react. You can make sounds and they can hear it. Can't do none of that shit if I am all the way over here. Right? Can't do none of that shit. So ranged combat becomes very, very strange. So one thing myself and my team have been working with for quite some time is a system that we at a certain point soon are looking to help implement into other role plays and vice versa, so they can use the similar tools and be able to bridge that gap a lot easier. If you all would follow me.
To the kill house!
See that building over there?
Which one? There are like 10.
The one one right in front of me, 3-story. Everyone get inside there. Except for Andre, piano, engine, and Oak. You guys with me? Everybody else inside the building.
I have a bad feeling.
What floor?
Am I gonna get new?
Oh no.
I don't think we really.
Heads up for those of you guys. This goes for everybody. I advise having your world sounds turned up. It is safe to have it up to 100%. These maps are all built to do so.
Can verify.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
should be ready to get firing squatted right now.
Y'all just hang tight.
Not me into battle with our
No, just wait. It gets worse.
Use your shield. Use your shield.
Oh, gun will literally go through the freaking shield that we have.
Kind of Warhammer-ish, isn't it?
Well, what is that? Is that stun baton?
Oh.
No,
It's a
It's a stun baton.
No, it's not a stun baton.
It isn't stun.
Well, it's not a stun baton, it's a baton.
It does stun if you hit him, but you will get stunned if you get hit.
No, it's just a stun.
It's just stun.
It's just a moment stun.
No, it's just the wind.
I'm gonna take a
This wind.
sit down for a moment. Good thing this has flashlights, so I can actually see.
Did he just add them?
He better not be calling it the freaking suit.
Is that Max or is that Ariel the Bar? I think it's a.
No, I'm kidding.
I can't hear anything.
We're gonna need some help defending the next floor.
Cloud's coming.
The wind's been rough these days, and the dust storms haven't settled for years.
There you go. I can't see that coming.
I hear it. It's coming closer.
I don't know, man. I see something.
Whatever's coming.
Everybody on Windows.
I feel like it's about to be. It's okay. I got my spears sharpened today.
I know. Loud sounds.
They're coming in.
Oh god.
Get the fuck out of the building! Everyone out!
Alright.
Out. Just out. Everybody out.
With your hands up.
Everybody out.
Everybody out. This is part of the training. Everybody out.
Looks like we've captured a whole rampfest here.
My hands are up, man.
Everybody out
What
and
the
line
same
up.
shit are you guys wearing?
We were at a cosplay convention.
I see you up there. Get down.
Yeah, I mean, it was Renaissance, bro. It was Ren Fairy. You didn't get the memo?
So, we create a system. I want you to notice. These are all world-based guns, and there's a variety of them, and then more of them continue to be added as time goes on. One thing that's important to notice why this is different as opposed to avatar-based sounds, or avatar-based weapons, and etc. Avatars, the animations and the sounds, everything, they only play... Oh, hold on, let me put this back on. Avatar sounds and animations only play when you're looking at them, so it is impossible to tell if you are being shot if you're turning away. Whereas in this instance, everybody turn around, face the opposite direction.
Please don't shoot me in the back.
Oh, great.
Alright. Everybody turn back.
Another thing
Shot me in the ass.
we've noticed, because very much like with the roleplay combat, ranged combat, it is very difficult to tell when you have been hit, especially from so far away. A couple of people have created means to bridge that gap by making world-based guns that cause like the big red blur filter that it symbolizes you've been hit. We prefer to leave things as roleplay, meaning it is an interpretation system. When you see the effect, that means you have been shot. You are able to interpret that as you say fit. And you can interpret that differently as an NPC versus as a regular PC, vice versa. It works differently with this system we have. There is what you will see is a suppression filter, like in video games when bullets land and ricochet nearby, and you will hear a loud psh, 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 snap sound. And it only triggers when the bullets flying towards you, because it won't happen if you're behind it, pass within a certain radius of your view box. Say for instance, let's see, Light, come here, stand in front. Front and center. I want you to let me know if you see anything when I do... Here, give me that gun.
Light's dead.
Because this one's a tad bit different because it's a chonker. Let me know if you see anything when I do this. I'm shooting at her feet. See anything? I'm gonna shoot your knees. Anything? That's cool. All right, now I'm gonna shoot your. I'm gonna shoot you in the chest. And actually, you guys behind her, you will see this too at the moment.
Okay, first
You see that?
I did not see it, but I heard the peck.
Yeah, it increases the more you get hit. So if I do this. So, that can also happen if it goes by her head, like say this far away. It didn't hit her, but she saw it. So, the reason we have it set up this way is so that if you are a player character, or vice versa, and you were peeking a corner and bullets come ricocheting past you, or even hit you if you're trying to, bound or whatever it is up to you as a player to decide whether you've been hit or not. And then you can call for a DM or roll injury, whatever it is you want. Unless it's, quite obvious that you've been shot. We leave it open to interpretation.
Your head.
Yep. Versus if you're an NPC with a certain combat level, what we like to do is say you have a certain amount of hit points. So let's say you're a level 15, which could be considered well trained. It would take you as an NPC 3 shots to go down, and you could interpret a shot as seeing that filter. Now, real quick, is anybody here affected by screen space filters, like a little shade, so to speak? So does anybody have problems with those? I assume not.
No.
Guys, do me a favor.
Thank you.
You're all a bunch of cosplaying weirdos, so you're getting executed. This is to show you what it looks like when you get hit. Lock and load. 5, 4, 3, 2.
No.
Pretty easy to tell. Not to mention, if you go all the way off to the side, wherever it is, that same thing will happen. If I'm standing up here, and someone is all the way across on the opposite side, and you manage to land that shot close enough, which is still difficult from that range. Yep, it is still playing for me, even when you're turned away. It is highly optimized, very useful, and is a very fun, aesthetic way to bridge that gap between RP combat. Now, like I said, oh yes, there are sound effects for impact, so if I shoot the ground near you, including metal ricochets.
That's very fucking cool.
And they react to the environment around you. So,
Some bounce off the walls and stuff.
1 second.
Haven.
Okay, so can we switch into Arkham? Yes.
Alrighty, sorry, I was talking to the fiance. So, here's how we love to practice this system. We are going to split you up between players, quote unquote, and the NPCs. NPCs have a particular combat level, and you have hit points. When you see that filter as an NPC, that means you've been shot. Now, there's a little bit of wiggle room for that, because say, for instance, if I'm out in the open, or if I'm peeking around a corner quite obviously, and I see the bullet land nearby me, I can take that as, okay, maybe that didn't hit me. Again, honor system. Role play. That's what this is all about. But if I'm running across an open field and I get a snap as an NPC, I'm more likely to take that shot. So here is what we are going to do. Real quick. Let's go ahead and put all these away. As I mentioned before, on these maps, there's a menu system. If you reach up next to your head and you pull the trigger, it will bring out a menu. That will immobilize you. In order to get out of that, you jump. Press the jump press the jump button in order to get out of it. That's what'll do that for you. So, let me go ahead and return mine. Nobody do anything with them yet. Nobody do anything with them yet.
All of us turn into this one location.
Yeah, I'm just gonna return all real quick. I returned everybody's weapons.
How?
So, everybody, here. Everybody, reach up. You will notice, in order to navigate this menu, you use the stick on your left-hand side. If you're having trouble get it, just reach next to your head and click, pull the trigger. Then you navigate with it up and down using the stick. It's not a point and use like the regular VRChat menu. Go left, right in order to expand the menus and decrease them. So if everybody goes to guns, there should be a list. There will be pistols. It shows you these all exist in a pool. That's a maximum number that can spawn. Go ahead and everybody either give yourself a pistol or a rifle. Whoops.
Do we just want to hit spawn or?
Yep, spawn. Hit spawn and it'll put it in your left hand. Nobody fire them just yet.
Yeah, unload your gun.
As a matter of fact,
Pull out your magazine.
As a matter of fact, pull out your magazine. There's a series of boxes that you click in order to take them in or take them out. Don't really have your hand on it. It's easier just to kind of point at it. Careful. Including the magazines for the pistols. Pull the mags out, and then you can also pull the ignition to unchamber the round. Very good. So, without anybody firing, real quick rundown. These guns operate like actual guns. They count the amount of bullets inside of them. If you have a pistol, magazine goes in, magazine goes out, and you pull it back to chamber the round. And don't go ahead and try it just because it's noisy, but if you were, hypothetically, to pull back on the chamber on the pistols until every single round ejected, it would do that.
Yep,
it would empty every single round. Same with the rifles.
And then you can pull the magazine.
One thing to note, the rifles, there is a flashlight on the front. Because this is a daytime map and these are real-time lights, let's do our best to not use those because that will affect frames in the long run.
Take it out for now, and then also the bolt.
So make sure your flashlights are off.
Yep, bolt there.
And on the side for the rifles, there is a safety mechanism. Switch it a couple of times. There are three modes. There's full auto, semi-auto, and safety. You will learn what those are as time goes on.
Safety's all the way up on the bar.
Yeah, full auto.
Recommend going with the
bottom one. Safety's.
Another thing to note. Everybody pay attention here. This is another fun little trick we have to help with immersion when it comes to these weapons. So I want you all to pay attention to how this sounds when I fire it right here. Now I want you to pay attention to how it sounds when I go over here.
Hey Samson, can you hold my rifle for a second?
I was just wondering if there was any more.
Thank you.
Or another reload. Special reload thing.
Yeah, you cannot do that with
Hold the battery.
You want to pull the bolt out, you're going to have to put that
The sounds change
bolt out.
when the weapon is occluded.
Okay. Are you pointing that thing?
Not like that. Pull the magazine. Pull the magazine. So, yep, pull. Click.
So, a little bit of gun safety, people. Have the gun not pointed at people when you're using it.
That too, yeah. There's no forward grip just yet. There are no forward grips active just yet, but those will be added later when it comes to all these weapons. So,
that means we'll be able to hold it.
Here's what we are going to do with these.
Help with aiming.
I need everybody to change into, let's see. The model Crassus is wearing right now, everybody swap into one of those. These are our henchmen models. These are the goons.
I think we have those.
Goon Squad.
Goon Squad.
Goon Squad.
Yeah, you're good.
Goon Squad.
Okay, you have no right to sound like Soda when you do that.
God dang it, this is really hard to do.
Alrighty.
Off someplace else.
Gremlin energy.
Now, I want...
Okay, so my camera's over there.
I want...
Pointing at.
Let's see. God, there's a fucking lot of you. I want 7. 7 people over here. Those will be our PCs for this particular engagement. One, two, three. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You guys are the PCs for this engagement. Yeah, this group. That's fine. This group. You guys will be switching into... Yeah, let's use these models now. That's fine. Yeah. Guys, have them grab this model.
Oh, he's invisible. Okay, Scorch, you're invisible.
Your visible turned on. Has the invisibility feature.
Yes. These models have a little bit of customizability, don't worry too much about them, but there is a equipment and helmet toggles. So go ahead and toggle on the helmet. So that's not on the menu, that's just on the radio menu.
Wait, we copied a different one? They're all condom.
Yeah, oh, more specifically the one I'm using.
The red eyes is for the combat medic. All the way up?
More specifically this one.
You want red eyes? Security if you're combat medic, so.
Right.
Frick is still.
So you guys can toggle on the helmets. You guys are the player characters in this regard. Don't worry about medical roleplay. Don't worry about hits and armor. Assume you have a bit of armor. This is purely for the sake of getting you used to the system and helping people getting used to getting hit, and vice versa. The reason we go over a lot of this as well is because, as mentioned before, there's been talks of us releasing it to see if we can get it involved in other roleplays as well. So, PCs, my advice to you is you stick together. Buddy systems, especially suppressing fire, definitely works in these kinds of scenarios. But I want everybody here, this includes you guys, to pay attention to one thing. I'm going to tell everyone about the talking gun. Talking gun, especially considering how many of us there are, is very important. It gets really annoying when you have literally everybody on the map doing this.
That's fair.
That's obnoxious. So, for NPCs especially, where your objective is to create the scene, make shit energetic, fun, and enthusiastic, exciting, and, dangerous feeling, for these guys, is to help create the scene. As NPCs, or at least in this specific case, combat NPCs, your job is to help tell their story. So the concept of the talking gun is, instead of holding it down, it's having a conversation, a few words at a time.
Only friends phone?
I have no idea. My cloning is on. I couldn't access
way more realistic
menu.
Yes, no using full auto. So for NPCs especially, that is important for you. Now, obviously, in this, at PCs, you guys have a little bit more leeway on it, but, these are chunky guns. Treat them like they are. So, NPCs, I want you all to take your gun, aim up in the air, and practice a talking gun. 1, 2, 1, 2. Very good. Done. Very good. A little bit of lag because that's literally all of these guns going off at once. Don't worry about that. There's also the pools loading all the emotes and stuff like that, or all the little the hit markers. So, that is talking gun. That is important. Now, for us as NPCs, when you do see that hit, that filter, as mentioned before, generally speaking, that means take the hit. Go down. These models we have here, these have invisibility toggles on them. I advise you use those. Here's something I want to show you guys. Let's see. CJ, why don't you guys let me know what looks wrong with this picture here? Go ahead and gun me down.
One second.
You left the safety on.
Just wait till it disappeared.
Someone left a perfectly good gun.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Did he respawn as well?
Yeah, he respawned. That was a respawn.
They can return them, but they stay there if you just drop. So.
Yeah, try to ground and leave them on the ground and throw them. If you throw
All right, what is wrong? Oh, no, leave my gun there, you What was wrong with that image? What is wrong with this image here?
Well, there were several things.
Floating gun.
We don't like that. All the objects in this world, if you let go in the air, they will stay there. If you let go while you're moving, they will drop, they will throw. When you die, when you go down, either do your best to animate hitting the ground, because especially if you're from a long range, if I'm standing all the way over on the edge of the fog over there, and I do happen to land a shot on you, standing here like this isn't going to tell me much. Throw up your arms, give a show, hit the ground. That is the only indicator from such a long range, especially that you have been hit. Yeah, like right over there. I shoot him.
If I
Bam.
should actually...
I can tell I just hit that
put
motherfucker. So,
in a different
when you do
place,
that,
not either.
either throw your gun off to the side, leave it there, hit the ground, put it on the ground, and then go ahead and toggle the invis. So you can get
I
up,
think this is one.
reset, do what you need, but leave your gun there. The way these guns work is you have the ability to return to the pool whatever gun it was you spawned. So if I go back to guns, and I click on the rifle, you see a bunch of options. One of them says, return mine, or return held. That means that the gun, like that one there that I spawned, will go back into the pool. If you need to get your gun back to you, that is what you do, and then you just respawn it. The reason you don't want to pick someone else's gun up is because if I'm like, oh, I killed him, I'm gonna take his gun, rip doo 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 doo. Your spawned weapon is your spawned weapon. If you lost it at some point, hit return and respawn. It goes back to your hand. Does that make sense? Alrighty. So, here is our scenario. Everybody follow me this way.
On your guns. They might go disappear. We're running.
Also, does everybody know how to work the safety on the rifle? Does anybody not know how to work the
was
safety on the
described.
rifle?
We already discussed
Okay,
that.
good.
Yeah, it was described how to use the safety.
Oh god.
No, gosh.
No.
This is so people can find me.
Follow the elemental.
Well, yeah, that's why I picked it. So this is one of the crafted arenas to practice this particular type of combat style. One thing I want you to note, if you pull out that menu again, there are teleport locations. I can't access it in this fucking elemental suit. Oh, that's because the head position vanishes. I forgot about that.
The head is different.
Okay, never mind. I'm gonna hop into something else.
Elemental's built different.
Got it. Actually, I know what to do. Yes, teleports. When you scroll down on that here, I'm the guy with the red eyes. There we go. When you scroll down, there will be a teleport location called Team 1. That will spawn us inside this bunker right next to us. Click it. Team 1 spawns us over here. Likewise, there are two other bunkers in these directions. I added walls to kind of help keep you guys, you know, barreled in, kept in. But if you look at these antennas, that's a general kind of scope of where you want to keep this, where you want to keep the combat at. So I'll show them to you just simply by running. Everybody follow me. Then we will begin the war games. These weird slum models, be careful with those, the meshes are weird.
Haven, I just crashed. I'll be returning momentarily.
I don't think they can hear you.
That was a
Who is I?
Digit.
Okay, yeah. I'll be back.
Oh no.
We'll try to use the teleports as little as possible, but this is Team 2. This is Bunker Team 2, and the reason I point these out just so we can make them objectives.
Did you meet me?
Bunker Team 3 is this way.
It's more of a toilet than a bunker.
Obvious walls and shit we can't go past, vice versa.
Yeah, Digit just crashed.
On their side of the...
Returning momentarily.
Understood.
Right down there. That is Bunker Team 3. And then the first bunker is, of course, back in that direction we came off to the corner. It's like in a triangle. Don't let the fog throw you off too much. Keep an eye on the antennas, so I'll keep you in the play area. So, here's what we're going to do. Our players, you guys will start here at Bunker 3. Your objective is to clear out the general area on the inside. You will be given a cue when you begin, player characters. Now, for the sole purpose of practicing the system, understanding how to get used to it, how to utilize the guns, and for our NPCs, how to take hits, what to look out for, vice versa. PCs, don't worry too much about taking hits. When you take them, play it off like you got shot and it hit your armor or you're bleeding. You know what? Roleplay it. It's roleplay. NPCs, 2 hits and you go down. As I mentioned before, generally speaking, when you see that filter, that means you've been shot and that counts as a hit. Now, if you are behind cover and you get hit like 3 times in a row from a range, you can kind of count that as 1, you know, because they're kind of just shooting in your general area. However, if someone walks up in front of you and obviously goes right into you, that's an obvious hit, you know, that's an obvious dead. So, when they do that, 2 hits and you're down, you're dead. You go ahead and you respawn.
Oh. That's unfortunate. This is very unfortunate because I'm not sure what happened. Well.
Hey, Broncos have just crashed too. Someone take my player role. I'll join in a minute. I'll join the NPC side
as well.
Okay.
Has also
crashed. Noticed that. So that's happened before on this map. I think on this particular version there's a bug where it causes that to happen or causes something to choke at some point.
So I wasn't the
Not
only
entirely
one.
sure what it is, but that'll be fixed for one of the other versions. If you guys do wish to load back in, you should already have the map preloaded. Just join back in on somebody if you wish.
Roger
All right. That being said,
Roger that.
I'm gonna bounce. Thank you for the workshop, and good night.
Have a wonderful night.
I'm gonna go ahead and
So yeah, that's that. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of it. So I'm gonna go to sleep. So bye bye. Thankfully I wasn't the only one. So yeah, later.